All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. Looking at your sponge, how does audience, in your opinion, influence which appeal we use? You're determining whether or not to use ethos, pathos, logos. Oh, wait. How does audience determine what you should use? Yeah, absolutely. If you're trying to, say, convince a lawyer to do something, lawyers often use which kind of appeal, do you think? Logos. They use a lot of logical reasoning. So could you argue that lawyers are kind of prone to accepting logos?
Yep.
Okay. So if you know that, perhaps you should use logos with that audience because that's something they're familiar with. It's something you could use. However, what would be the downside of using logos with lawyers? Say again? Yeah, you got to get all your facts right. And yesterday we talked about, as an audience, we want to understand persuasive appeal so we know when we're being persuaded. So is a lawyer as susceptible to logos as other people? They understand it the best, which means what? They can tell you if it's wrong, absolutely. Okay, so audience definitely plays a pretty large role. So looking at our objectives. Yesterday we worked on defining and identifying ethos, pathos, logos. Today we're focusing just on the identification. You're also going to be able to work on intended audience, looking at an advertisement and determining the audience. First things first. Yesterday's exit slip. 98% success rate on it. That is awesome. Okay, that means 98% of all my students in all my classes got it right. Okay, yes, sir? You had to look at a passage from Malcolm X and Princess Diana and determine what was being used and how you knew.
Remember the logos and pathos.
Okay, so that is very, very good. All right, I'm very happy to see that. We are going to watch another movie about ethos, pathos, logos. And it's not quite as dorky as yesterday's. Use this one to kind of refresh your knowledge or to take notes if you were not here yesterday. Everybody ready?
Yes.
Not now. I'll wait for everybody. Oh no! Oh no. All right. Hold on.
The art of rhetoric, persuasive techniques in advertising. Persuasive rhetoric can appear in a variety of media, from a high school debate to a billboard on the street. Regardless of the type of persuasive argument, the goal remains the same: convince the audience of your point of view. Authors of any persuasive argument, in this case advertisers, often approach this goal in similar ways: by making emotional appeals, by building credibility and trust, and by using logic and reason. Greek philosopher Aristotle used three terms to describe these rhetorical strategies: pathos, ethos, and logos. Not every advertisement will use all three of these techniques, but most use a combination of at least two to persuade the consumer to invest in a product. The first persuasive technique we'll look at is pathos. Pathos refers to an emotional appeal. An advertisement using pathos will attempt to provoke an emotional response in the consumer. Often, it's a positive emotion, such as excitement. Snickers, Head and Shoulders, a product called iHome, and even milk can add excitement to your life. And just look what kind of adrenaline rush you'll get from a Honda Civic.
The all-new 197 horsepower Civic Si from Honda will reverse you.
The promise of being attracted to the opposite sex is probably the most common use of pathos. Apparently even Dentyne gum can be sexy.
Attention, boys and girls. Dentine Ice is coming out of its shell, revealing a side never before seen, and creating quite a sensation. New Dentine Ice Soft Chew, a whole new way to go cold.
And sometimes an advertisement will pull on the heartstrings. Who can resist a child's birthday party? Buy a Sony Cybershot. Or look at the adorable baby who just wants his Cheerios. And occasionally, pathos can work in the opposite way, by associating a product with the prevention of something negative in your life. Use State Farm Insurance in case this happens. The next rhetorical strategy we'll take a look at is ethos. Ethos in advertising refers to establishing the credibility or character of the product. Often this is done by brand association. Cheese nips, for example, contain real Kraft cheese.
Nips. Now with more real Kraft cheese.
Kraft is a well-known and trusted brand, and therefore you can also trust cheese nips. Expert testimonials also lend credibility. A positive review from a critic you trust can make you want to see a particular movie. Doctors and dermatologists are always giving their anonymous approval to products. However, another type of ethos commonly seen in advertising is the celebrity endorsement. There's no reason why actress Hayden Panettiere is more qualified to endorse milk than the average person, but her appearance in the ad offers the impression of credibility. Rapper Common doesn't design clothes for the Gap, but if he wears them, you might also want to. And take a look at how many celebrities are endorsing this Moto phone with iTunes.
Oh, I'm the number one. I'm choosing your phone.
If you have this phone, you're that much closer to being famous. The final rhetorical strategy to examine is logos. Simply put, this is an appeal to logic or reason. The logos of an advertisement is straightforward. It tells you exactly what the product does, how it works, what it is used for. The voiceover on the Cheerios ad gives you practical information about Cheerios' health benefits.
Turns out the cereal that's a healthy choice for your children is the same cereal that's good for your heart.
However, logos is often more effective in print than it is on television, where there is much less time to read. This iHome ad gives you specific details on its functions, clear information that the consumer needs to know. In fact, internet sites may be the most effective at delivering the logos in an ad because the consumer can discover as much about the product as he or she wishes. This Aveeno website allows the consumer to learn more, where he or she is led to specific details about their line of products. Pathos, ethos, and logos. Defined by Aristotle over 2,000 years ago, these three rhetorical techniques are now utilized in all forms of advertising.
Okay, the one thing that they did not say about ethos was what? They told you that ethos establishes credibility, but what does it also deal with? Ethos talks about establishing credibility. That's why using, as they said, Hayden Panettiere for the milk worked because, you know, she's credible, so the milk's credible. But we said ethos also deals with something else. Yeah, it plays on your sense of right or wrong. Okay, so if it talks about ethics and right or wrong, it's also ethos. So we're going to do two activities today. The first one is going to be a gallery walk around the room where you're going to look at different advertisements, determine the primary appeal as well as the audience. Second thing we're going to do is after we go over that, we are actually going to, in your groups, practice writing speeches that try to use these different appeals, and hopefully they become kind of humorous and ridiculous. They don't have to be realistic at all. First things first, though, I need you to number off 1 through 6. Polyethos. Can you think it's okay? Okay. With the paper you have in your hand, go to the following places. 1 goes over here. 2 by the bookshelf. 3 is actually going to be right here. 4 is here. 5 is right here. And 6 is right here. You got 30 seconds to get to your station. Once you get there, I'll tell you what to do next. So go ahead and get going, please. Go ahead and get going. Okay, here's how this is going to work, guys. Here's how it's going to work. At each station, who's my sixes? Who are my sixes, guys? No more sixes. Grab that paper. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen up. My turn, please. At each station, you are going to look at your advertisement. Your job in your groups is to determine the primary form of appeal. What do I mean by primary?
Main source.
What do I mean by primary? Say it again.
Pathos.
Well, it's going to be pathos, ethos, logos, but when I say the primary form, what am I asking you to look for?
Details.
Not quite details. The one that is most what? Used or apparent. Okay? We talked about yesterday that every advertisement can use multiples. But I want you to find the biggest one, the one that's most used. You'll have 3 to 5 minutes in each group. You'll then go around, okay, and you'll hit 6 stations today. Make sense? All right, go ahead and begin. Why don't we start with one? You just look in, advertise it on the wall. Sahara, if you want to come around, you can. That's it. I know it's kind of practice. Just use it.
If you can read from
That whole
Minute and a half. What do you guys think? No, that's not why I started this.
You said this is a logo?
No, I said it. I'm fine with logos, but the reason is not logos. Yes, they're trying to get you to buy them. But that doesn't make it logos. Okay, so why is it logo?
Because they want you to buy that phone and
It's not because they want you to buy the phone. I can use pathos, ethos, and logos to get you to buy that phone.
it's giving facts and numbers.
There we go. That's what it's called. Switch! Switch! You guys on your fourth one now?
That's that new ATC phone.
Shut up, in my pocket. Shut up.
For the iPad or Galaxy Note is better?
Depends what you like.
Does the Galaxy Note have, does it get virus?
They can all get virus. Doesn't matter.
No,
what it is.
Apple doesn't get virus.
Yes, they do.
Really?
Anything can get a virus. I like Android operating system. Okay, so for me, I would go for the Note. I have a Galaxy Tab at home. However, there are more apps on Apple, and it's in some ways simpler to use. But if you're knowledgeable about technology and you like Android, I would go Android, especially because they are easier to upgrade.
I was gonna buy one because they're on sale. I'm gonna buy them, but they're on.
I honestly wouldn't even get the Note. I'd get a Pad.
Upside down.
That one's missing, right?
You knocked it out and put it upside down.
Wait, what is it?
I don't know.
2 minutes? 2 minutes?
I mean, they giving you ideas. I mean, I give thanks.
And that's Ethos.
That's all I'm doing. Those things like that. The logos.
Oh.
Gary, what's my favorite right here? Logos. What's the one? I see them. What's the one that giving tags? Logo. Yeah, it's logo. I only gotta look. Why? Let me see. It looks like you. Says, what are they explaining you to do?
1 minute, ladies and gentlemen, 1 minute.
Wouldn't these be like logos? Because they give them all these. They give them like, like they said right here at the giant ball, they said in the screen, so it's strange. The APC one is easy to use. So wouldn't it persuade you to think that this is a good quality phone?
Or they're asking you to do what? Alright, finish what you're writing and go ahead and switch. Finish what you're writing and go ahead and switch. This your fifth one, guys?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
See on your fifth? Alright.
That's Ethos. What did you say? What did you say? I thought I heard you say
About a minute left. Last one.
It's like from inner.
You live in Jefferson County.
What are you talking about?
Minute left. 1 minute. It's a flexible scale. Based on where. We're going here. All right, finish what you're writing. Go ahead and switch to your last one. Finish what you're writing. Switch to your last one. All right. Let's go through these together, guys. Here's your first one. Okay? This is number one. It was the Olay ad. What is the primary, raising of hands, what is the primary appeal being used? Why? Not sure? Why is it ethos? Good.
The ethos, because it was using a real celebrity.
Yeah, it's using Carrie Underwood. Okay, Carrie Underwood, celebrity uses it, she's pretty, you could use and be pretty too. Okay, now what could you also argue this maybe could be? Well, that's what they want you to do. There's not a lot of facts on that. Feeling pretty makes us feel happy. Feeling happy would be what? Pathos. Okay, but ethos is the main one here. What are they trying to persuade you to do? Leah, what are they trying to get you to do? To buy Olay. And who do you think the target audience for this is? Yeah, women. Okay. You know, they're not really. You're not going to see a whole lot of Olay commercials with Brad Pitt sitting up there. All right. This is meant for women. Number two. Okay, number two. Now the picture's bad. Over here, when you guys look at this one, you see two things. First of all, it says that it's recommended by Miguel Flowers, who's a party promoter. Okay, and you see the party itself. So, raising of hands. What do you think the primary appeal is here?
Is that number two?
Yes, number two.
I think
Ethos, what?
because they won't. It's recommended by Miguel Flowers.
Yeah, saying Miguel Flowers is a party promoter. He does it. You should do it too. Ethos is a pretty good choice. What would be the other one to be used here? Pathos. Chance, why pathos? Okay, why would it be pathos? Go ahead. Okay, and it's a party, right?
Yeah.
Parties are fun. Fun makes people happy. Happiness is pathos. Make sense? Who's the target audience? People who want to party. Okay, and what are they trying to get you to do? To buy a phone. Trying to do it to get you to buy a phone. I need people to stop talking over me, please. He has a phone in his hand. It's an HTC ad. Okay, it's actually an ad for the new HTC One. Okay, they're trying to get you to buy the phone.
Where's the phone?
In his hand. It's hard to tell up there. All right, next one. It's this one. Okay. Ishmael, what'd you say the primary appeal was? Logos. Why? No, why is it logos? John, what do you think? Why is it logos? Why is it logos? Absolutely. It's giving you facts and statistics about this phone. And numbers. Okay, it's telling you a whole bunch of different information about the phone. Paulo, what are they trying to get you to do in number 3? What are they trying to appeal for you to do? Yeah, they're trying to get you to buy a phone. They want you to buy the new HTC One. Okay, and so who's the intended audience? People who don't use it. You can look at one of two things here, guys, and listen, because this is actually a difficult one. The easy answer is the audience is people who use cell phones. Okay. However, yeah, the other thing is people who either watch or make movies, because what they did is they used a film producer. By using a film producer to talk about it, it's really gearing towards people who want to make and watch movies. All right, very good. Number 4 is this one with the camping scene.
I think it's logos.
Yeah, this one is pretty much pathos. This is pathos. Yes, sir. This is pathos. Okay. Shelby, why do you think this might be pathos? If I were to tell you it's pathos, why would you say it is? Yeah. It's a bunch of people sitting around a campfire being happy. Okay. This is pathos. You could get a little bit of ethos out of what's written at the bottom. Okay. But really, this is primarily pathos. Next one is this yoga lifestyle apparel ad. Tyler, what'd you say this one was primarily? Ethos. Why'd you say ethos? Yes.
Your logo?
Not logos, because there's no facts and statistics on this. Answer me this, guys. These women here. Not only is she wearing the clothes, but what is she? Somebody said it over here. She's pretty. It's not logos. Okay, she's pretty. Let me tell you, guys, listen. This is a look for. Pretty people, male, female. Okay, pretty people in an advertisement. It's what's known as sex appeal. Okay? Sex appeal is pathos. Look at the pretty people. I want to be pretty because if I'm pretty, I'm happy. Okay? This is pathos. There's no getting around this. This is pathos. They're using pretty people. They're telling you if you wear this clothing, you're a pretty person. That's the connection they're making. Wear our stuff, you'll be pretty and in shape. We know that's not true, but that's what they're saying. Okay? So who is the intended audience? Because I already gave you what they're trying to get you to do.
Pretty people?
Women. Okay, women who, and you can go even further, women who want to get into yoga, women who want to be in shape. Then we have our last one. Okay, this was the article about parental controls on cell phones. Right, Nortrell, what'd you say the primary appeal was? Logos, why? Well, then you got to tell me why. What were they doing to make it logos?
They give you a shot, back,
Yeah.
exterior.
Absolutely. You have a chart down here, which gives you all sorts of information. You have statistics and facts up here. You have a number up at the top here, 70 million cell phones. Okay, these are facts, figures, statistics, things to get you interested. What are they trying to get you to do? No.
Well, I died at
About putting parental controls on how to do it. So who is the target audience then? Parents. Very good. Okay. Raising of hands, please. Who got at least 4 out of the 6 right? Good. Okay, very good. Good, good, good. Here's your next activity, ladies and gentlemen. For, let's say, 10 minutes, you guys, in your groups, are going to create one persuasive argument using as many appeals as possible to answer the prompts that I'm going to put up here in a second. Now listen, guys, make this ridiculous, okay? If you're going to use statistics, make them up, make them ridiculous. If you're going to use pathos, really tug at those heartstrings, okay? But I want to see you using these arguments. Your prompt is this. Yes. This is your prompt. And wait for everybody to look up here, please. Your community is sponsoring a summer program for all youth ages 4 to 12. The program will provide athletic activities, field trips, arts and crafts, and summer fun every day from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The cost of the program will be $100 per week per child. The Department of Parks and Recreation will offer scholarships for minority families based on need. I would like you in your groups, using as many appeals as possible, to write a speech to convince the mayor to support this program. You're doing it in your group. You can do it on one piece of paper. Here's how this is going to work. You are going to write it, and then I'm going to have you give it to another group who will then look at your argument and determine if you were successful. Okay? Any questions? Be ridiculous. Be outlandish. Get it going. Your mayor. Please. I need you to turn in the speech stuff you did, and I need you to please tell me what is the primary appeal and why.
What they do? I know it's
Brad Pitt.
Yeah, Brad Pitt. Can we all do it on one paper?
Yeah, go ahead and do it on the one paper, guys. That's fine.
This one?
Yeah, the one you just, no, the speech one, the thing you just did. That's fine.
I thought that was the long, and he's right.